So, welcome to another special video, and this question was again asked on my post, because remember I said I will make 3 videos on these special questions. So the other question that was asked is, when lords of other houses in your horoscope, in your chart, are sitting in the second house, what does that mean? What importance do they have when lords of other houses, meaning planets that are controlling other houses besides your second house, sitting in the second house? So how do we perceive that? Okay, like for example, if you look at here, well, why isn't this doing it? Now I'll do it. Record. Well, I gotta record, so if you look here, okay, this is our horoscope. This is our birth chart. So the number 1 that you see are the house. 1 is the first house, 2 is the second house, 3 is the third house. So we go counterclockwise all the way to 12 houses. Because there's 12 houses, there's 12 zodiac signs. Keep it simple. So what I'm trying to show you here is what happens when a planet, like for example, Aries is controlled by Mars. So Lord of the first house, okay, Mars could be sitting here in the second house, right? This is first Lord in the second house. Mars also controls the sign of Scorpio. So Mars is also now sitting in the second house. So the Lord of the first, Lord of the eighth is sitting in the second house. And just like this, okay, you will have Lord of the fourth house sitting in the second house. Third Lord could be sitting in the second house. Fifth Lord in the second house. Sixth Lord in the second house. Okay, we already did first. Seventh Lord in the second house. Eighth Lord in the second house. Ninth Lord in the second house. 10th Lord in the second house. 11th Lord in the second house. And then of course 12th Lord in the second house. So all these houses, lords, are in the second house. And not only that, second Lord itself sitting in the second house. So let's say, for example, I give you an Aries ascendant. So now, if Venus is in the second house, in Taurus, that means second Lord is in the second house. And what does this mean? So this is the method that I'm trying to here discuss with you. And if you need to know which lords are sitting in your second house, for this, you can go to karasastrology.com. Under shop section, you will see the report on option 6 and beyond, where you'll get the PDF report and you will see exactly what your ascendant is, where your planets are placed, which lord is going in which house. So you can see that. And of course, my wristwatch and wealth course is also on my academy, which will find the links here, which is going to be helping you tremendously in terms of getting the right time on your side. I've shown so many examples. I'm actually going to put one more example today or tomorrow about some really, really bad watch, which sounds like a very religious, spiritual watch. Somebody sent me this yesterday in my email. And I'm just waiting for their permission to show this watch. It's like a Sri Yantra watch and whatnot. I mean, no. And also, before you buy any watch in your life, just watch what I talk about in my wristwatch and wealth course. It's very important because I've seen now big mistakes being made. And like I said, if it's not in your destiny, you will buy the wrong watch, because I've seen that. Even post course, people have bought completely wrong watches, and I'm like, did you even watch the course? What was the point of getting the course? if you are going to just do the same mistake again. So anyway, I digress. So let's see here. Okay, what is going on here? Okay. So now, let's discuss second or lords of other houses in your second house. So the thing to remember here, okay, is that when a lord of a house, not Lord of the Rings, not Rings of Power, when lord of a house goes into a house, it is making a transaction. For example, when you're hungry, what do when you're hungry? If you're in your home, you will go to the kitchen to get something. Or especially nowadays, since everybody's mangal is bad, people love going out in the evening or lunch, wanting to go to a restaurant and get some food. So what is the Lord doing? Lord is wanting to feed itself from the house that it's sitting in. It is there first to get something. Meaning I go to the restaurant and I'm like, I want masala dosa. Okay? So I'm doing that. Now, in order for me to get the masala dosa, I have to give something to the restaurant in order to get it. So that means the Lord is going there to feed itself and giving something so it can feed itself. So you have to remember this part. If you can remember this part, you will know 75% of Jyotish. So for example, first Lord goes into the second house, which means now the individual is going towards the second house to feed itself. And what is the second house? Money, wealth, bank balance, family, lineage, your kutumbha, meaning like everything with your family and your khandan, as they say. Your speech. Remember, your speech helps you make money. It is also the house of your inheritance. You're looking at inheritance with the 8th house, right? Okay, fine. Inheritance, the 8th house. But does inheritance not come to you? Is inheritance something like, oh, here's your inheritance, now it's not going to come to you? Because the whole law of this earth is when you get an inheritance, you give it into some ashram. No, the inheritance is coming to you. Your money is now coming in, that money from the parents or whomever, that guardian is putting in your bank account. That's what it is, right? So on one end, this person is going to seek their money and wealth through family lineage. They're going to gain access to something through which they can make money. And the reason, and now, what is the transaction if the first Lord is going into the second? Where yourself is always going to desire to be nourished by the family. You feel like when you're with the family, you are being nourished as an individual. But the thing is, in order for you to get money in your life, you must, whatever money, even whether you make money on your own, through business, partnership, job, family, spend money on yourself. Okay? Spend money on yourself, meaning on your body, on your health. You will see when first Lord is in the second house. When you join a gym and you actually go to the gym and you begin to work out and start fixing your body, what is happening? You're hungry, you're going to the second house. But it is you who's also getting something in return by giving something to the second house. So you want food from the second house. You want its resource. Its resource is wealth and food. So that is going to you. So this is why this is also on classical astrology known as a Dhan Yoga. Because you're getting the food and you're spending it on yourself. The exchange is with you. So you have to always take care of yourself if you want to activate your house of money. Then, second lord in the second house. The planet that is supposed to control the house itself sits in the second house. Life is okay. Life is good. There's no reason to run after something. Things will just come to you. Like you will see people in government jobs with second lord in the second house. They're okay. Even if they're IAS officers, they're fine. They're working in government. They're working in some form of a HR office. The thing is, there's satisfaction already. There's no hunger anymore. You have the fridge, you have the stove, and the dining table all next to you with all the ingredients there. What do you have to do? You're not going to the neighbor to find your bread and your food. You have everything. So you're just happy, you're satisfied, you're just couch potato, you're fine. Usually this impractical real thing, this shows a satisfactory bank balance. This person actually, you won't be that ambitious towards having something unless a lord of another house sits in the second house with this planet. Now there's going to be some form of unfulfillment that has to be fulfilled, meaning you have everything, but well, you're wanting mutton curry today. You want handi Rajasthani mutton curry, which I actually made 3 days ago, and my mom said it was the best mutton she has ever eaten. I think I can easily say this, in food I have surpassed my mom. I have, confidently. A lot of chefs will be like, I'm still trying to pass my mother or my grandmother. No, I have surpassed. It's that art in me. And here I'm with the second house, talking about second lord. It is also the Hora of moon right now. Not the regular Hora, this is Nadi Hora. Nadi Hora is different than regular Hora, where the regular Hora is Sun, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Moon, right? This is different. It's funny, I just spoke about it and I'm like, I had to look at my clock there. So second lord in the second house, the satisfaction is there now, but how do you activate that? Let's say second lord is in the second house. You do things for the family. Before yourself, first do it for the family. Or even if you don't have a family, who do you consider family in life, right? Some people will say, my best friend and his mother are my family. People will say these things. My church is my family. Whatever you consider your family, you do something for them. Start doing something for them. Start giving them nice things. Your second house will become active. On the same token, third lord is in the second house. Third house is what? Parakram. Effort. Right? It's the house of effort. Only with effort you were able to walk, which is the third house of travel. Only with effort you were able to construct sentences, which is how you are now speaking. With the third house, you were able to build strength with your body by working out, by running, by playing sports. So that house goes into the second. Which means, number one, your money is going to come through whenever you cross some border of some place. Because third house is always the border, bordering states, bordering country, neighboring country, right? This is something we all learned from K.N. Rao when he's talked about the India's chart. Back in his book, I believe, Destiny and the Wheel of Time, Yogis and the Wheel of Time. You must cross a border. The other thing, one's money is not going to be owed through communication, marketing, media, sales. Your younger sibling will come to you to feed themselves. They're going to ask you for money. And what do you have to do? You should help them out, not to a point where they're taking advantage, because there's again going to be this balancer scale that you'll have to deal with. But also, it is the younger sibling. If you have a younger sibling, neighbor, co-workers, that is actually going to feed you money. They're going to come to you for help. Help them, because in return, what did I say? They're making a transaction. Their idea will somehow help you. When you travel, because third house of travel is in the second. Whenever you walk, like you walk around your home, your colony, you travel, you go, like especially with third house, walk. Because everybody travels in a car. But usually you will see whenever you walk, whenever you even travel with third lord in the second, it keeps feeding your bank account. It'll keep feeding it. People who are capable of making money through social media, being influencer, because that's the planet that is now wanting to be fed. And when you feed it, what does it do? It gives you money. You feed it and it gives you money. So if third house is asking you, hey, go into the third house and start doing something. Okay, I'll start doing something. Then what happens is it starts giving you something because you gave it something. It's coming to feed. The hunger for the third house is being satisfied with money, satisfied with food. So that's how one's going to be influenced through their money. Then fourth lord goes into the second. Your home, mother, comfort, emotion, privacy, sleep is coming to your second house of wealth and money. One will always benefit and make money through either motherland, home, vehicles, or through dealing with other people's emotions. Meaning like a psychologist, psychiatrist, astrologer, somebody who somehow, see the fourth house of emotions, fourth house of everything is coming to you. It needs to be fed by the second house. The more you take care of the mother, the more you gain. Mother's coming to you for feeding. Take care of your mother. Naturally, the fourth house will then do the transaction with you by giving you the fourth house related things, which is home, land, real estate, vehicles. Happiness and comforts comes in when you feed other people, because it's coming to you for its feeding. So when you give that food, it's going to give you money. It's going to leave you something with it. Same way, fifth, the Lord is in the second. So, take care of your children. Buy great luxury items for your children. Give them everything to the best. They will leave you money. The more you keep educating yourself, the more you keep learning something new, money will keep increasing and coming to you. Because what is the fifth house? Fifth, the Lord is in the second. Intelligence, learning, education, children, mantras, mantra siddhis. Okay. Sadhana. Including funeral. Attend funerals of people when you're invited. Because fifth is the 10th from the 8th house is the karma of someone's death. When you go to someone's funeral and your 5th lord is in the 2nd, it's coming there for a feeding. Mantras, these people, when 5th lord is in the 2nd, doing any kind of like even the simple mantra affects your 2nd house. But especially whenever you feed children, your own children, other people's children, pets. Why? Because pets are your children. Remember, nobody says, oh, these are just my pets, I don't care. There's like, oh, my dog is my child. 5th house is pets. They just proved it to you. So you feed them, you take care of them, and you get the money because they're coming to you. Always, whatever your kids want, always try to give them best to your ability. Especially, let's say, okay, you do your homework and I'll get you this. You better get them that. Because that helps you with your bank account. But they're coming there to feeding. When you feed them, now they'll leave you something with the money. Now, 6th lord in the 2nd house. So 6th house is the house of Rog, Rin, Ripu, Indriyas, senses, sense pleasure. All of these are enemies. Goes into the 2nd house. Number 1, you will make money through your enemies. Your enemies, like for example, what does enemy means? Does it mean somebody's trying to come and kill you and then it will make money from you? No. For example, you have a business. Your competitor will actually one day come to your store to give you money to purchase something from you. Maybe they couldn't go to some other thing. They had to come to your store in emergency. So the more enemies the more people hate you, the more money you make. The more people put you down in life, the more money you will make. The other thing, debts. Whenever you keep a revolving debt, money will be active for you. Meaning, let's say you have a credit card. Not maxing out your credit card, but for example, you have your cell phone bill, you have your internet bill, you have your apps that you're paying for monthly, you have your electricity bill. Put them on a credit card. And every month, when those bills are coming into the credit card, you're paying the credit card off. So what is happening? Debt is revolving. Because debt is coming to feed itself from your bank account. So you want to have debt in order for you to have money. So for example, when 6th lord is the 2nd, when this person has, let's say, car loans, mortgages, right? Basic, and I'm not talking about extravagant, like whatever your means is to afford a vehicle or a home, when you have that for like, for example, 30-year fixed rate, for 30 years, as long as you have that debt, somehow you are going to be able to make money. You're going to be making money to pay that off. Now, let's say you're 80 years old. Everything is being paid off. Well, in that case, keep that revolving debt going. Whatever bills, cell phone bills, internet bills, this bill, cable bill, put that on your credit card. When that payment comes in, it'll charge. You pay that credit card off. Next month, it'll be the same. So it's not like you're in debt. The debt is always active. It's always revolving. The other thing, when you take care of some problem of your maternal aunt or uncle, your money becomes active. And it is going to happen at one point. I don't care if you're a teenager, 20, 30, maybe when you're 50, somehow from maternal aunt or sibling side, some help is going to be required. When you give that help, boom, it activates your money. Why? Because they came for you to help. They were hungry. They came, you gave them food, they gave you money, and they left. That transaction took place with the 6th house. And the thing is, with 6th lord in the 2nd house, the more you have competition in your work or your business, the better you will do money-wise. Now, 7th lord in the 2nd house. First of all, seventh house is spouse, business, success. Okay. It represents the client that is coming to you for doing business with you. So Lord of that is in the second house of wealth and money. So number one, when spouse controls wealth, you make money. Whether you're a husband, wife, doesn't matter. When they're controlling how the money should be spent, where the money should be going, what should be happening, and they will do that. It's not something that you can argue, you can fight. This is your placement. You will only attract an individual who's going to demand to control the bank account. But when that happens, they're going to do a transaction. With seventh Lord in the second, they're going to be fed and then they're going to leave money to feed you. Them controlling the bank account will increase the money. When you do it by yourself, it'll decrease the money. And it's not like something you can just blindly follow. You should know by now. If you're married, if you are in your 40s now, like I said, if other lords are also coming, you have to use that dynamic with it. Also, business feeds your business, or clients will come and feed your bank account. When seventh Lord is in the second house, whenever you should be the type of business person, or even if you're in a job and you're doing sales, always take your client out for food. Feed them food. Don't ever let them go hungry. When they come to your office, provide them something. If you know the client is coming today, have snacks, really nice snacks, because seventh house is Venus, second house is Venus. No matter what your ascendant is the energy of Venus. Venus is luxury, name brand, logos. Give them something luxury. Maybe when they come in, give them one of those Asian pastries. Take the pastry out and say, hey, have it. Even if they're for 5 minutes, you feed them, they will feed your bank account one way or the other. Seventh, the Lord is in the second. If you were to do business, make sure you speak. You can't ever do a business and be successful where your speech is not required. You must speak. Speak to the world, speak to the client, somebody speaking on the phone. Your voice has to be activated in order for you to make money from seventh Lord in the second, or your spouse has to speak. You will also see with this sometimes spouse will speak on your behalf, even with your enemies. For example, you're home and your competitors are coming to you, some government officials are coming to you, your spouse will be the one opening the door and say, yes, how can I help you? What do you want? Because they become your voice. When they become your voice, there's more value added to your bank. Okay, and especially seventh Lord in the second is kind of like the same placement as seventh Lord in the 12th. Get nice things for your spouse. Even though they have control of the money, but when you do something, when you give them something, remember, it's a magical transaction. When they're doing something, you are getting that in return because you're activating your seventh house and second house. But this is not a placement where you're guaranteed to do business. No, you can maybe just be in a job, but you will make money. See, at the end of the day, it's all about making money. I just actually was giving a reading to somebody. I'm like, when I look at a chart, profession is simple. It's simple to just tell somebody. But what I want to focus on is money. I'm like, you're paying me to show you where the money is. This is where the money is. And nowadays, career doesn't really matter. Everybody needs money because nobody's job is satisfying enough to even live alone and pay satisfactory bills. Right? Oh, let's go there. It is penny. So, it's all about the money. Right? It's all about the Benjamins. It's all about the Gandhis. Whatever's on your note there. Now, 8th Lord is in the second house. So now 8th Lord is in the second house. Now, as I was talking to you earlier, Eighth house is inheritance. Eighth house is research. Other people's money, assets, married life, secrecy, bondage, conspiracy, controversy, okay, mistakes is the eighth house. And that Lord is in the second house. It wants to be fed by the second house. So, first of all, and also remember, eighth house is insurance, inheritance, wills, and estates. So you will see whenever you deal with secrets in your life, when you are keeping secrets, dealing with secret information, when you talk about some hidden information, for example, investigative journalism, your money is being fed. Whenever you give donations in secrecy, meaning not announcing to the world that I am giving donations to people and giving people money, because again, eighth house is other people's money or giving it to even other people. When things are kept secret, money comes in, and this kind of becomes a bit of a conundrum with this, because on one end you're gonna be a withholder of many secrets, okay, and on the other hand you will also be forced to talk about these secrets. And also you will see with the eighth Lord and the second, naturally a person, when they go to astrologers, people who are occultists, tarot, psychic, whatever, what happens is when you go to an astrologer, even if you got the worst reading, somehow it activates your wealth and money. Because because eighth house needs to be fed by you. You have to spend money on to the eighth house, and then it leaves you with its own money because you fed it, you gave it something. Also, in-laws will come, helping out in-laws monetarily. When you help them out with gifts, money, you get money. Take care of your in-laws with this position. But you will feel sometimes, and I've never really seen this in Western world like USA, but in India you may see in-laws will control your money. Like in joint family situation, the father-in-law is the one who is in charge of everybody's money. Maybe he's a financial advisor and he says, give me the money and I will take care of it. So now your money is being taken care of by the father-in-law. So in that way, your spouse's family controls that money. But one of the simplest thing is that whenever you, first of all, you gain through insurance. Gain through insurance, inheritance, whether it's your own family, your spouse's family. But you will see, people will come to you in emergency to ask for money. You will be in a situation where you have to kind of give funds for emergency. And you should you refuse? If it's too much, sure. But if it's something legit, if it's happening once a year, twice a year, somebody's stuck somewhere, okay, fine, I'll help you. Why? Because that is going to be the exchange that you're making with your second house of wealth and money. On the other hand, ninth Lord goes into the second. Okay. So obviously we see, whenever you take care of gurus, fathers, teachers, high educational institutes, you will see you will somehow even get offers for donation for educational funds, this, that. When you take care of them, life takes care of you. You help out some teacher to make money. You help out some guru to make money. You get helped in life. You make money in life. When you visit, because see, ninth lord is wanting to be fed with your second house. When you spend money at religious places, spiritual places, when you go on pilgrimages, when you go, let's say Kamakya, you go and see Tirupati Balaji, you go to Adi Yogi, what are you doing? Ninth house of whatever I just explained is coming to be fed through your money. When you go somewhere, you spend money. Now, what is it going to be? It fed itself, and now it actually gives you money, right? At the end of the restaurant, or at the end of the day, when you're leaving the restaurant, you give your card, and then they bring you the receipt, you sign it, and you leave. You will also see, with ninth lord in the second, some form of publishing will help you make money. Publishing of books, publishing of material. People will have printing press. This feeds you money. Father will try to leave you money, but he will only leave you money or try to leave you money when he has given enough trouble to you in your life. Naturally, you will also see with this position, when you travel, father falls ill. Not all the time, but he will fall ill while you're traveling and moving. Okay. And this is also a position where especially usually you will see that after you've had some kind of like a infection, like a stomach infection from travel, you deal with that karma and then money comes in. 10th lord goes into the second house, right? 10th lord is now sitting in your second house of money and wealth. So first of all, your Kurukshetra, the place that you fight battle so you can get the valor, which is nowadays a paycheck, is coming to your second house. Meaning, the more you spend money in your work, the better your work becomes. This is actually a position known as Simbhasan Yoga. It's a yoga for actually business to be on a throne. Because 10th lord is in the second house. You must take a creative approach to your career. Whenever you take care of people at your work, taking care of, like taking them out for dinner, spending money on them. Like for example, if you make decent money, you don't have to be a CEO, you don't have to be an HR professional to do this. When you have, let's say, a team of 6 people, one day just say this, especially on a Friday. Or let's say your 10th lord is, I don't know, Mercury, sitting in the second house. On Wednesday, tell everybody in your team, I'm going to pay for your guys' drinks and I'm going to take you guys out for dinner today. Let's go. You do that, see what happens within a week by next Wednesday. Some improvement in work. Some form of additional ability to get more work and money and funds come in. Usually I've seen this with more business. Because see, in business, what happens is, any day you can make any kind of money. Today you're making 2,000 a day. Tomorrow you might be making 10,000 a day. Or you might only make 1,500 a day today. So this is where you really see this particular position. So people at work will demand things, demand your resources. So when you have a business, you get things. You buy the right equipment, you buy the right things, so you can actually feed it and it feeds you back. 11th lord in the second. Of course, elder sibling. When you work with the elder sibling, they bring you money, they bring you wealth and resources. When they work with you, you gain money. At the same time, when you have parties, right? Social circles, network circles, when you take care of them, you throw a big party for people around you. You feed your money house. Naturally, this is a very powerful dhan yoga, right? Anyway, you know, with 11th lord in the second house, and especially if there's an exchange, beautiful. It'll be a beautiful placement. And 11th house, ow, baby girl. Oh my God, she's like going after my leg again. Leg again. You stay here. And the other thing, 11th lord in the second house. Take care of your children. Don't become stingy. Do not become a miser like, oh no, I gotta teach my children how to live in the real world, so I'm not gonna give them anything. Don't be one of those people with this position. Because you hear all these things from these multimillionaires and billionaires. Oh, I teach my children all these things. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, no. It's because of your planetary placements you're doing this, and maybe they'll be successful, and maybe they'll hate you for not giving them the proper resources when they needed you. What's the point of making all this money and this just to make your children struggle so they learn just the way you do? No. If a child is meant to be an honest, hard-working child, you could be a trillionaire and they will still work hard. And if not, you could be piss poor and your child will be lazy as a potato. And they don't care how much money you have or you don't have, they will do what they're going to do. So this is why when I hear anything in the world, it's all nonsensical, because unless it's in your chart, it's not happening. But because 11th house is the house of your children as well, they go to your second house of resources. Give them resources if you have it. Don't be one of those a-hole parents that I have to teach this and I have to save money, and no, they don't need this. They don't need a bike at this age. I didn't ride a bike till I was 17, 18, blah, 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 blah. No, give them resources. Otherwise, you are struggling yourself then. You're putting yourself in a position to struggle. Don't do that. 12th lord in the second. Right? 12th house is the natural house of expenditure. Donations, investments. So when 12th lord goes into the second, whenever you just simply spend money on food, spend money on foreign travels, expenses come in. When you just take care of the expenses that are required and not becoming stingy and holding on to that money, you make money. You will see with 12th lord in the second, this person wants to always save money. And what happens within 4 or 5 months, when you don't spend any money because you just want to save, you think everything is a waste of money. You don't want to get the nice clothes, you don't want to do this. Then what's happening is some expense comes in and takes its portion away. It's going to do that. So now think about it. If it's going to do that, might as well spend money so you enjoy that money. Put money in investments. You must get money rotating and revolving. Up and down, losses, gains, losses, gains. You must also donate money into organizations, spiritual places, religious places, because 12th lord is asking to be fed, especially ashrams, monasteries. This is the house of the guru. When you spend money there, when you feed people there, you make money. When you spend money on people's food, whether it's your friend sometimes or stranger, maybe on Diwali and Christmas, make a thing that whenever you see somebody in a restaurant and you feel like maybe it's a struggling parent or now, just go up to them and say, I'm going to pay for your bill today. Just tell them to bring me your bill. The happiness you will get from doing that, no astrology and this alignment video, nothing is going to make you feel that way when you do that. This is one of my things of paying it forward. Every Christmas, I kind of do that. I go to a restaurant, okay, around that time, and I'll leave a 300% tip. So if my meal was $50, I'll leave 150 as a tip. Just paying it forward, making somebody's day. Okay. And especially, like I said, with this, you gotta bring time on your side if the time is not on your side. Which is why I keep telling people, especially with that wristwatch and wealth course, forget about every other course out there. That is the most practical, the most important information you will attain regarding bringing the right time onto your wrist and in your home. And I remember, especially, I don't make these things until I have done things, I have learned things, I have made mistakes, and I have done that. And so, regardless of these lords and houses, time comes on your side. Which is, of course, you can go to Mahavedic Astrology Academy. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of, you know, planets in their second house and lords of other houses in your second house. Okay? We'll see you later.